It's 9:06. It's Hot Talk 99.5. It is the Hot Talk Morning Show along with Dave Priest and Joe Katz. Welcome into it. It's a Tuesday morning. We've been very busy already. A little bit later on this hour, we're going to be talking to a Super Bowl champion who is trying to help your kids read. We'll explain what that's all about coming up after 9:35. Right now, though, we have proof that we have trained our guest correctly because he brought us donuts, Joe.
Perfect. I mean, that's exactly how you get into our hearts and minds. You just
and
bring
stomach.
us food and feed us.
That's absolutely right.
We will never say a bad thing about you.
Doug Obenour is with the Building Talent Foundation. And Building Talent Foundation, this just come to my attention recently. What do you guys do?
We are a not-for-profit organization. We're fully funded by the Leading Builders of America, which is made up of the 20 largest residential home builders in the country. And they recognized several years ago that there was a major skilled worker shortage, and so they created our foundation. And we are in 19 different markets now, and I'm the engagement manager for the Myrtle Beach market.
And when we look at some of the ways in which we're able to sort of build this pipeline, because as you know, we have an aging workforce across the board in nearly every industry, and the trades, no doubt, is one that is obviously very lucrative here in our area, or can be in a very short period of time. How are you building that pipeline? What sort of partnerships are you trying to develop in the area to engage our young people?
Well, I have been working hard over the course of the last several weeks to partner with all of the community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, as well as our educational institutions, Ori Georgetown Tech and the adult centers and so on and so forth. And I've had just an extremely warm reception to what we're trying to do. And these people are extremely appreciative because they're all trying to make an effort to work on this problem as well and direct our young people particularly into the different trades.
Right.
And now I'm feeling like I'm sort of a catalyst to help bring all these organizations together, and it's working well so far. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have to kind of shift the mindset a little bit? Because, back in the past area, it's like, okay, I got to go to college to be able to be successful. But, I mean, you can be very successful and have a great career doing a lot of other things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we are definitely promoting that. We not only promote just the new jobs in construction, but we promote the advancement in the education and the training, in the construction industry, as well as ownership, business ownership. We focus a lot on the youth, the 17, 18, 19-year-olds, get them started, as well as, people of underrepresented groups as well. And we're trying to change their mindset of, this is a career path. This is not a job, and they can get started in it and make a wonderful career and live a life.
Doug, one of the biggest things I think for people that work in your line of in your industry is the fact that they're able to literally from the ground up build homes that ultimately people will live in and develop and grow families in, and that's the most pride. Outside of obviously you want to make money, you want to be successful, you want to have a fruitful career, but be able to put somebody in their home and then watch that family grow over time is probably almost the biggest perk of this job.
Yeah, when I'm out speaking to various groups, I share with people that you can go to college and it's a wonderful thing, but the feeling of accomplishment and fulfillment that you get when you accept a position in the construction industry and you start a project and you go from one house to the next house to the next house, and the next thing you know, you're taking credit for building a community, which is lifting people up. Bettering the lives of many families out there. And this is something that you can brag about. You bring your family, you bring your kids, your wife, your spouse, and you say, I built this community. I built this neighborhood. I put all the HVAC systems in here. I did all this electric. And it is a tremendous feeling of accomplishment that you just can't get it from everywhere, from every kind of job.
The website is buildingtf.org. That's buildingtalentfoundation.org or buildingtf.org if you'd like to go there and find out more. And, Doug, I know that back when I was in high school, when I was taking shop class, the woodworking shop every year would build I don't want to call it a spec house, but they would build a house. That was part of their project for the year, was to get the kids from my high school in the various different whatever specialties they were doing to build a house, and they'd sell it at the end of the year, and the money raised would go towards getting more materials to build the next house every year. Is there any kind of projects like that in the Myrtle Beach area?
Unfortunately, not that I'm aware of. I do know that the ATA has I've seen a couple of postings where their kids have built deer stands, and you can actually rent the deer stand, for hunting. But I haven't seen anything like that outside of Habitat for Humanity, that sort of thing. I know that the neighboring counties, or Georgetown County, they are very active in things of that nature, and activities.
Doug,
yeah.
You talk about employers. They're obviously in great need, given the region, the growth that we're seeing, and the lack of workforce that they're looking for, whether it be plumbers, electricians, exterior, pretty much everywhere in between. When we talk about the education part of it,
right.
What does that look like on a pathway for somebody that may be graduating high school or looking at a 2-year community college or technical school? What does that pathway look like for them?
It's really strong. We all know that not every kid is going to go to college, and I think this is just my own belief, but I believe that most kids, and when they reach 11th and 12th grade, they know whether or not they're going to go to college. So we want to try to make these kids aware that there is a tremendous path for them, career path that they can make, and by going into the various trades, they can do extremely well in all the mechanics, the plumbing, the electrical, HVAC, as well as the actual carpentry and cabinetry, and we promote all of them, and we really promote their the furthering of their education and helping them enroll into the vocational tech schools to learn these trades. It's just going to give them a heads up, a much better head start, I should say, when they go into the opportunities. But we have many employers that are willing to bring them on, no experience, and train them and mold them into the types of employees that they can be successful.
Now, one of the reasons that you guys are so active is because there is a lack of people out there doing some of these jobs. But obviously, it's not just within building trades. There's a lack of people out there to do just about any job these days.
Right.
But before stimulus checks went out, you mentioned that this started several years ago, that the Building Talent Foundation got together to try to get people interested in going into this. So you were seeing this years ago, not just over the past 2 years.
Oh yeah, we're celebrating our 3rd year anniversary now, Building Talent Foundation, and like I said, we actually got started because the leading builders of America, the 20 largest home builders, they got together and they realized that we had there was a big problem. So collectively they got together, and that's how we got started, Building Talent Foundation. And we've built, we have our websites that everybody can go on to, buildingtf.org. And then we also have our other website, our platform, which is designed strictly for construction. That's our Jobs to Build, where employers can go on there for free. They can enroll, register, and they can post their jobs. And it's strictly for construction. Job seekers, they can go on Jobs to Build. They can register, and they can search out the different jobs in all the various trades, and they can connect with me directly by doing so. And as their career coach here in the Myrtle Beach area, I will help them through whatever point in their path that they are in, whether they're coming out of high school, whether they're coming out of their vocational training. I can help them, prepare them for their first job, identify the opportunities, teach them how to interview properly, make sure that they are set and ready to go.
Doug, one of the big things to me is the fact that as a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid, you're rarely thinking about what lies ahead as far as the next 15 to 20 years. At least that's how I was as
right.
kind of a slacker, to say the least, when it came to studies and school. Focused on other extracurricular activities during
right.
that time. Oftentimes it's the parents and the others around you in a family that help guide you ultimately to where you want to go. How important is it to get in the in front of the adults in the room, and to kind of change maybe their way of looking at things, where this old sort of school mindset is that you have to go to college to be successful, because that seems to resonate amongst many people as they try and keep up with the Joneses. I don't want my kid swinging a hammer for a living, but
right.
Swinging a hammer for a living can take you and your family a long way.
Well, when I'm speaking with, it is very important to get in front of parents, because they are very college driven. High schools here are driving our kids towards the thought of going to college. You have to go to college or you won't be successful, and that's just really not true at all. I represent a company now here that covers the better part of South Carolina and even up into North Carolina, where their HVAC techs, one in particular, in his third year was making $80,000.
Sure.
Third year. By his fifth year, he's making $100,000. I did several presentations yesterday at Horry Georgetown Tech, and I asked that very question to the students. How many want to make $80,000? How many want to make $50,000? And every hand went up.
Sure.
It was like, I'm like, well, you are in a great spot right now. And I explained to them that it is estimated by 2031, 40% of today's construction workforce is going to retire. 40%. We are already at a 400,000 shortage of skilled workers.
Wow.
The home building industry builds approximately 1.1 million homes per year, and that's made up of about 60 to 80,000 builders. Right now, we're at a 3.3 million shortage in homes, so we're already behind the eight ball. We're already behind the eight ball in the homes. We're behind the eight ball in the labor, the skilled labor, and with those, if that comes to fruition in 2031 and 40%, who's going to build the homes?
Yeah.
Who's going to put the electric in? And this is just so the kids that are thinking about it, the students that are in the classes now, they don't realize that they're at the doorstep, they're at the threshold of just a tremendous opportunity. And in 5 to 8, maybe 10 years, all these kids that are studying HVAC and electrical, they can be their own contractor.
Yeah, sure.
And not working for somebody else, working for themselves, and do extremely well. I give one other example. I know a gentleman right now who's in his late 50s. He falls in that 2031 category.
Yeah.
Never stepped a foot in college. Never acquired one dime of debt until he put his kid through college. But he came out, started working in construction, became a carpenter. For the last 20 years, he is now a general contractor, making over $200K a year.
Yeah.
Never went to college.
The Building Talent Foundation, the website is buildingtf.org. If you want to find out more, we have a link on our website as well on our Facebook page. Now, Doug, as far as you mentioned that you're a nonprofit, you said now.
That's correct, sir. Now,
do you get any help from any of the major building companies? Do they help you out as far as getting the word out and taking care of expenses and stuff?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are indebted to all of our building partners. D.R. Horton in particular, who is the largest residential builder since 2002 by volume, has been just a tremendous support to us, and we are grateful that we have them on our side and working with us. They've just been a tremendous help in supporting us and promoting what we do. And they are nationwide. They're in 33 different states. They're in 100 plus different markets. And since their inception, back in their founding, back in '78 in Fort Worth, Texas, they have sold over 900,000 homeowners homes. I mean, these guys are just incredible, and they recognize the need that which is why they really put this thing together. And they were the ones who, from what I understand, said, we need somebody in Myrtle Beach. We need an engagement manager in Myrtle Beach. And they went to Building Talent Foundation, and they found me. So.
Yeah, we are the only fastest mid-sized growing market in the metro areas in the entire country. So
yeah,
we need to we have a ripe workforce, or at least the potential to tap into that.
It's my understanding that D.R. Horton alone is going to build 3,000 more homes just in the Myrtle Beach area.
Oh yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they've got developments through Highway 90 and other areas off of Myrtle Ridge.
Yeah.
So they're just going gangbusters.
And Doug, before we let you go,
yes,
I don't want to get it misconstrued. Going to school and getting an education is very important, and even maybe at the highest levels that are offered out there at a college, university. Though what I find, given that I was brought up in the construction industry, and what I know is that a lot of project managers that are out there on site, they have an education, but they have no real hands-on experience. So then when you're dealing with all the different subcontractors and contractors, it's book smart, a.k.a. street smart, and there needs to be a balance there between both in order to be successful in this line of work.
Right, there is, and it's you can get a lot of book smarts, and they have classes for project management and that sort of thing, but you start off in the ground level, and you make a career out of this. You, without being in a classroom, without having all that additional education, your education is on the job. And there are plenty of trades out here that will teach you. They'll welcome you in and take you under their wing, and they will show you the ropes, and they'll show you exactly how the world is done. And we promote everything from foundation work all the way to the roof and everything in between.
Doug Obenour is with the Building Talent Foundation. Again, buildingtf.org if you want to find out more about the organization and how you could look into the trades, possibly for yourself or for your children, whatever you're looking to do. Doug, appreciate you being here with us, and thanks for the donuts.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate the time and the opportunity to talk with you all and talk with the audience. And if everyone would please go to our Jobs to Build webpage and get registered if you're a job seeker or if you're an employer.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
And let us know how we can help you in the future.
Will do. Thank you, Dave.
All right, thanks a lot, Doug.